All right, guys, what's going on? I hope you're having a good weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me. So let's jump into it. I think that I've got a pretty good plausible theory here. Of what could have happened to Summer um, after watching a piece on 60 Minutes, which if you want to watch this, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below. That way you guys can go check it out. I would definitely go check it out. It's very eye-opening. So after watching that, I had to do some research and come to find out that it's pretty big. I mean, it is on the verge of trafficking. So I'm at a website here called childwelfare.gov, and they really they tell about it basically. Let me read it here, but don't forget to go in the description below to check out the 60 Minutes piece on this. It says unregulated custody transfer of adopted children. An unregulated custody transfer often refers to as rehoming. That's what I'm thinking may have happened to Summer. She was rehomed, and maybe twice. Because remember, a long time ago, it was all over the YouTube streets that Dawn was saying, "Well, we just got her back." In a lot of these cases, if it doesn't work out, you get the child back. So the practice of adoptive parents transferring custody of a child to another individual or family without the involvement of child welfare or other appropriate systems. Now, I know it says it's the practice of an adoptive parents transferring custody, but it's getting so rampant that you've got biological parents doing it because they get into a situation to where they can't take care of the child, don't want to take care of the child, drugs, drug use, alcohol abuse, whatever the reason is. This is just being done and it doesn't really, like, if there's illegal activity involved with the family that's putting the child out there for sale, they can, there's no if, ands, buts, questions or anything. The people look at the child and it's all done basically unethically and behind the scenes. So it goes on to say, families seeking to rehome their children find alternative placements for them through informal, unregulated means, often through online groups and forums. And we know that we've seen Summer dancing in front of a barrel that says for sale. And, Candace, everybody was saying Candace, they felt like Candace was, showcasing her. Go watch that 60 Minutes piece. The transfers can be executed through power of attorney or notarized statement without the oversight of government authorities or the child welfare system. Additionally, these unregulated custody transfers lack criminal background checks or clearances of the child's new caretakers. The unregulated custody transfer of children may violate state-specific federal and or international laws, depending on if the child was adopted through private, public, or intercountry adoption, and if the child was placed across state or judicial or jurisdictional lines. Even in cases where the practice does not violate the law, all rehome children are at greater risk of child abuse, neglect, exploitation due to the additional trauma caused by the disruption to their home life and lack of placement oversight. even in cases where the practice does not violate the law. Is that what the is that what the district attorney is running into? Makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. Let's see what else it says here. Addressing the issue requires the child welfare system to invest in stronger post-adoption services. Yada, yada, yada. It goes on to say there are tip sheets, defines rehoming, offers best practice intake screening questions, explains the added risk of harm to rehomed children, and outlines concerns over how rehoming can potentially violate the Intercountry Adoption Universal Accreditation Act. Wow, there's a bunch of stuff I didn't know about when it comes to this stuff. 3 resources about rehoming adopted children. I'm just going to say 3 resources about rehoming children because everybody's doing it now, it sounds like. So there's apparently these are legit resources by the government to help rehome your child versus doing it on the black market, basically. So yeah, we heard. I mean, it was all over the YouTube streets, guys, a long time ago about Dawn. Dawn saying that we just got her back. I think he was talking to Ziggy at the time. And the creepy photo, or not, the creepy video of Summer dancing in front of the for sale barrel, and everybody saying that Candace was telling her to twirl and I call it showcasing is what I call it, because in that 60 Minutes video you're going to watch, you see some of that, and it's big. It's a big formal event that they done, but it can be done over the internet informally. And there's some pictures that I have seen, and if you guys can help me with them and send them to me. I've got one, but remember a long time ago when Dawn posted some pictures of Summer, I think on his Facebook. There was one at Sensabaugh Tunnel. There was one at a bridge with the river behind her. It looked like she's going to fall into it. You know what I mean? And in all these pictures, she was wearing the same, almost like a spaghetti top outfit and like a bandana around her head. It looked like all these pictures had that same outfit on that day. And I wonder if those pictures were showcasing her too, or meant to showcase her. You know what I mean? It's just weird. And like I said, guys, I didn't know anything about all this stuff until last night. I was listening to an old Chris McDonough interview with Robin, and I was just like, that's something about that interview caught my ear, and I was just like, you start thinking, and I thought, well, and Dawn's right. When Dawn says that we didn't kill our daughter, well, here we go. Unregulated. Rehoming. They call it rehoming. So, and it started out, I guess, where people were doing it with adopted kids. They were in the system or something like that. But now it's just like everybody's doing it. And apparently I wouldn't even know the first, I mean, I don't know how they go about doing it. You know what I mean, guys? I mean, it's like on this 60 Minutes thing that you're going to watch, and in the link below, the lady shows it up on her computer screen, and it almost looks like you can do it through Facebook. Looks like you can almost do it through a lot of social media sites, but I'd say Facebook is a big one. I wonder if Facebook knows that goes on. You know what I mean? If they're going through Facebook to do this stuff. Which reminds me, those pictures of Summer, that video stuff. Wonder if those were actually taken, found like on Facebook. Dawn and Candace were big Facebook users. And I'm not saying 100% that this is what happened, but I am saying it's a good possibility. And this is basically on the verge of trafficking. But, if this is the case and they rehomed Summer to another family, maybe she is being taken care of and not in the situation that she was in at 110 Ben Hill Road. But again, because it's unregulated and there's not a lot of things in place to make sure it's done the appropriate way, kids can get put in bad homes too. Just like even in regulated adoption things now. I mean, you got foster parents that are monsters. We hear about it once a month almost. So it's just, instead of it being like an official regulated way to do it, it's just an unofficial, unregulated way to do it. And kids can still end up in a bad situation. So let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think. Thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this little episode. And if you did like it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you on the next video.